How long can you survive without sleeping? Our health advice: the record for time spent without sleep is 11 days. Lack of or chronic sleep deprivation can have serious consequence. 11 days and 25 minutes. This is the longest time spent without sleep by a human being. A record never officially equaled, won without the help of stimulants in 1964 by Randy Gardner, then a high school student in San Diego, United States. If the medical reports established at the time indicate that the young man got away without sequelae, such sleep deprivation is not trivial. Sleeping is a vital function. It is therefore not for nothing that we devote about a third of our time to it. Others have paid the price for such record. In 1983, researchers at the University of Chicago conducted an experiment on rat. They placed them on a circular platform placed on water. Rats are afraid of water. As soon as the animals fell asleep, the discs began to spin to wake them. After a few days, the rats began to lose weight and ulcers appeared on their coa. In 3 weeks at most, all the animals die, faster than if they had been deprived of food. Fatal familial insomnia, an extreme CAS. It is uncertain whether such an effect would occur in humans, in whom such experiments obviously cannot be performed. Nevertheless, there is a kind of natural model by which to measure the damage of sleep deprivation. This is fatal familial insomnia, a very rare genetic disease, 100 cases worldwide, which drastically reduces sleep time and for which there is no treatment. The patient quickly develops arterial hypertension, episodes of hyperventilation, urinary and genital dysfunctions, body temperature abnormalities, as well as various cognitive and motor disorder. Death, inevitable, occurs after 12 to 16 months. Apart from this extreme case, no death directly linked to sleep deprivation has ever been recorded in humans, indirectly, in particular by road accident. In reality, fatal family insomnia is a bad example, says Professor Isabelle Arnoulf, head of the sleep pathologies department at the Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital, Paris. This disease paralyzes people, who lying down and without reflexes develop pulmonary embolisms, urinary tract infections or pneumonia and nothing to do with lack of sleep. Either way, chronic total or partial deprivation can have serious health consequence. It is necessarily a risk, both physically and mentally, asserts Sylvie Royant-Parola, psychiatrist specializing in sleep disorders and president of the Morphe Network. After 24 hours without sleep, the first dysfunctions appear, rebounds Professor Arnold. Some brain cells go dormant, and their numbers increase with the duration of sleep deprivation. Intellectual abilities affected. Increasing irritability, rapid alternation between states of euphoria and depression, burning or tingling sensation in the eyes, visual hallucinations, difficulty speaking, following logical reasoning, remembering recent events or orient in time and Schwach. The brain circuits that fail first under the effect of total or partial sleep deprivation are those of attention, concentration, lateral vision, executive disorder. People are making more and more mistakes. We see it in particular on daily tasks. Illustrates Professor Arnold. The brain is like slowing down, it hinders decision making. We see it with our interns. After their night duty, they are unable to make the decision to go home in the morning. In addition to the impact on current performance and mood, lack of sleep also has many physical effects. The whole cardiovascular system is abused, with variations in blood pressure and heart rate, says Royant-Parola, also a member of the French Society for Sleep Research in Medicine. Because sleep has an essential role in the preservation of this system. When we sleep, heart and blood rates drop thanks to a cascade of hormones released at night and immobility. When sleep is fragmented or when it is lacking, this quickly causes hypertension, first at night, then during the day, explains Professor Arnold. This inevitably increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Metabolism and immune defense. It also induces hormonal changes that affect weight and appetite. People are hungrier, metabolize food less well and gain weight. Continues Royant-Parola. Sleep is a special time that the body uses to replenish its glycogen reserves, a form of sugar storage. If you don't sleep at night, you increase glucose consumption, which requires the secretion of insulin and therefore promotes the onset of prediabetes, explains Professor Arnold. Moreover, at night, we stop producing appetite hormones in favor of satiety hormone. If we break this system, it leads to an increase in nocturnal appetite. Scientific work carried out with children has shown that those who sleep the least are more often overweight. On the immune level, sleep also plays a key role. Sleep deprivation alters the immune defense reactions against infections, notes Deep, Roy and Parole, a phenomenon highlighted by a study which compared the time required to produce antibodies following vaccination in more or less heavy sleeper. A single night's deprivation increases the level of cortisol, a hormone particularly involved in metabolism. Editor's note, sugars, white blood cells in the blue. We then speak of acute stress, explains Professor Arnold. But when the deprivation becomes chronic, the body can no longer keep up and the immune defenses collapse, with the consequence, a lesser ability to eliminate the cancerous cells that we usually produce every day. Other functions. Despite the incredible adaptability of the human body, it is certain that we could not survive for long without sleep. Sleep is a must, very costly in terms of security. It is obvious that we would not have inherited this from evolution if it were not vital, emphasizes Isabel Arnold. Memory consolidation, preparation to face threats, emotional regulation, better creativity. Many functions of sleep and dreams continue to be explored and discovered every day. Only 3 years ago, we discovered that specific channels open in our brain when we sleep, explains the specialist. They allow a certain number of toxins to be evacuated from the brain, and they also open when you play sports. So many good reasons to preserve your sleep. Doctors recommend a minimum of 7 hours a night, and not to pretend to dethrone the American Randy Gardner.